Angel Reese says WNBA players could go on strike over salary and benefits.
Career you choose, you should probably look at what the career earnings are of going into that field. What I'll also say is this: every single one of you WNBA players, you better pray that Caitlin Clark doesn't get injured, because she's keeping your league afloat.
We will sit out if we don't receive the compensation we are due. Angel Reese's bold and, let's face it, seemingly irrational statement sent social media into a frenzy. She probably hoped that the backlash would come quickly, but nobody hit harder than Patrick Bet David, who didn't just clap back, he dismantled her argument with surgical precision and a mountain of financial facts. Trust me, once you hear the whole truth behind this mess, you won't look at Angel's tantrum the same way again.
The ones coming this year will still be in the rookie contract again. The ones the year after, they gonna get more. They probably gonna be making more than us. No, they are.
Who's that?
I'm hurt. They are. Like, yeah. I've been in the meetings. They are. I need to get in the. I need to get in the field. You need to come to the meetings. I need to get in the meetings because I'm hearing like, yeah, they don't give us. If y'all don't give us what we want, like, we sit out. That's a possibility for real.
Here's the deal, then. The so-called Bayou Barbie turned professional basketball player, Reese, is now urging WNBA players to sit out if they don't receive higher compensation. Yes, we're talking about a player who is still getting used to making layups without hitting the backboard, and she's already threatening to shut down the league. Patrick's response was somewhere between incredulous and amused, and to be honest, can you blame him?
You know what I love watching? I love watching her highlights of missing shots. She's got to be the worst shooter you've met in your life. But go, Rob, just go, give this feedback. Give this feedback here. Go for it.
Season 2, I can't wait to work with you some more. The biggest advice I have for you is going to be how you shoot your layups, period.
Layups? Bang! What do you mean? She's our double-double queen! Bang! What they say, if it's broke, don't fix it! Bang! Teaching Angel Reese to make a layup is like teaching an old dog a new trick. It ain't gonna work! Bang! Hey, welcome to McDonald's. What can I get you? Have the Angel Reese McBang!
Let's examine what Angel actually said in more detail.
Want to get paid. Possibility. Reese has been vocal about her low WNBA salary, revealing her $74,000 a year salary doesn't cover rent, stating on Instagram Live, I just hope you know that the WNBA doesn't pay my bills at all. I don't even think they pay one of my bills. Reese's financial struggles stem from WNBA salary not matching her past earnings, as her NIL valuation at LSU was $1.8 million, bolstered by deals with Reebok, PlayStation, McDonald's, and Coach, while a 4-year rookie deal was $324,000 with $74,000 due next season.
I just hope y'all know the WNBA don't pay my bills at all. I don't even think that pays one of my bills. Let me do the math real quick.
He might cover that. Yeah,
it definitely covers that. What is my, I don't even know my salary.
She disclosed that, according to people like you and me, her rookie WNBA season salary of roughly $74,000 doesn't even cover rent in Chicago. Ironically, this is the same person who made almost $1.8 million at LSU through endorsement deals with Reebok, PlayStation, McDonald's, and a dozen other brands who reportedly believed that retweeting shade counted as a basketball skill. $74,000 seems like a pretty sweet deal, but Angel is acting like she lives in a shack.
Not basketball sustained her, especially since the WNBA's $200 million revenue last season only allocated 9.3% to salaries, unlike the NBA's 50% share of the $5.3 billion in 2023. Adam, thoughts?
No, my rent is more than that. It's $8,000. I'm living beyond my means.
The Angels signed a 4-year rookie contract worth approximately $324,800, or $81,000 annually, which is less than 5% of her earnings as a college influencer. Given that, let's face it, her Instagram stories generate more revenue than her box office receipts, and at the rate she's throwing bricks, the WNBA should bill her for backboard repairs. While Angel is establishing a brand based on bad takes and superior bricklaying masonry, Caitlin Clark is out here creating the future of women's basketball.
Hey, this is the greatest Angel Reese layup you'll ever see. Here we go with the dump off, ba-da-dum-bum-bum. I'm loving it. Burn! Oh, she getting jiggy with it. Look at that, crisscross, zigging zagging through the lane. Giddy up, yeehaw! Burn! Now I heard she's ambidextrous. That makes sense, cause she's equally doggy doo-doo with the right and left-handed layup. Burn! Professional basketball player needing to work on her layups is like a fish needing to learn how to breathe underwater. It doesn't make sense! Reese's Puffs! Burn!
Patrick was completely taken aback, not because Angel is having financial difficulties. Let's face it, with all of her endorsements, she probably isn't, but rather because of the utter foolishness of demanding more money from a league that waits for it to make money. He brought up the fact that, in the real world, when a business loses money year after year, it doesn't give out raises. Instead, it gives out pink slips. Things really started to get interesting when Adam Snick jumped in with the facts.
WNBA and what's her name? Angel Reese. Do it. I fully support your right to strike. So other sports have done it. So other major sports have done it. Here's a quick list for you, PBD. I put this together. Biggest sports strikes in history. 1994, the MLB strike. It was the first time that the World Series was canceled.
I remember.
Mm-hmm. You remember that? In 1998, the NBA went on strike. They canceled the All-Star game for the first time. The NFL has gone on strike multiple times. 1982, 1987, 2011.
Adam reminded us that while player strikes have occurred in the MLB, NBA, NHL, and NFL, the main distinction is that those leagues were making billions of dollars at the time of the players' walkout. Angel Reese is making the WNBA seem like Apple when, in reality, it's more like your cousin's food truck that barely makes a profit while still providing free samples.
Here's the catch when you're going to go on strike. In 1994, MLB, NBA, NFL, what's the number one revenue sport in America? What do you think it is? The NFL. How much do you think they make? $17 billion. The NBA, a little over $11 billion. The MLB, also $11 billion. The NHL, $7 billion.
Patrick didn't mince words. The NFL makes $17 billion, the NBA and MLB make $1 billion each, and the WNBA barely makes $150 million and still can't turn a profit. It's like trying to run a luxury spa with 2 patrons and a lemonade stand budget. The WNBA is losing about $50 million annually, which is not a sustainable business and is a ticking time bomb.
$150 to $200 million company. You're operating at a loss every single year. You've never made money. It's called a zombie company. You're subsidized.
This problem isn't even new. You would think that all the hype surrounding Caitlin Clark would finally propel the WNBA into profitability, but even now, with record attendance in packed arenas, the losses are climbing. The WNBA has been losing money since its inception in 1997, which is more than 25 years of red ink and broken spreadsheets. Nevertheless, the league continues to stumble along because of its much wealthier big brother, the NBA.
Your question for you, Vinny. Real quick, rapid fire.
Go.
WNBA stats. Here we go. You're a sports guy. How many teams are in the WNBA?
9?
No, 13. How many games do they play?
80?
40.
Damn it.
Who won the championship this year and who played in the finals?
The Florida Magics.
Nope, the New York Liberty beat the Minnesota Lynx.
Who?
Scale is one aspect of the issue. The NBA has 30 teams and an 82-game schedule with fewer inventions and tickets, while the WNBA only has 12 teams and 40 games per season. The Golden State Valkyries will begin expansion in 2025. It's simple math, revenue less TV money, unless you're Dee Carrington or Angel Reese.
The MVP. She was unanimous. She got all the votes.
Dylan Mulvaney.
Yes.
Yes.
Aja Wilson.
Oh.
You just failed the test,
I'm
buddy.
sorry.
WNBA is coming for you.
The revenue-sharing arrangement NBA players receive half of the league's profits, while WNBA players only receive 99.3%. Seems unfair until you consider that the league still loses money even with that tiny cut. There simply isn't enough revenue to cover everyone. And let's not even discuss the difference in attendance between Caitlin Clark's games and, well, everyone else's, including the Angels, where the seats are much more empty.
Yes, it is unrivaled. It is also unwatched. Look, let's be honest. We can sugarcoat it all you want, but if you don't have Caitlin Clark playing women's basketball, or if you're not the NCAA tournament playing women's basketball, you got nothing. Zero.
Nobody is arguing that WNBA players are unworthy of respect or recognition, but demanding more money from a league that is struggling financially is not courageous. Rather, it is irrational, especially when it comes from someone like Rhee, who has only been in the league for 5 minutes and is already acting as though she is in charge of negotiations, while Caitlin Clark is simply doing what she does, dropping dimes, breaking records, and creating a legacy without having to throw tantrums or threaten walkouts. While Angel Reese is still learning how to make a layup without turning into a meme, she lets her game speak for her. Perhaps the next time Angel talks about sitting out, someone should remind her that people are already choosing not to watch her games.
I mean, I'm not a huge
kept on like comparing the WNBA and the NBA. Like, I don't really think that's fair. Obviously, I think where the WNBA is right now is pretty incredible. I think a lot of people, or most people, would not believe it's in the place that it is right now. So I think when people always ask me this question, like, where I think it'll be in 5 years, is like, it's hard for me to answer because people didn't even think we'd be right here, right now. And I think really sky's the limit. I think when you see, our TV numbers when we're on, national television, we're averaging over 1 million viewers or whatever it is. The All-Star game, I think, was over 4 million viewers. Like, it's just really great numbers. So the more opportunities we're given, I think the more it's going to shine and get better and better. I think also the talent level in college is continuing to get a lot better, and as those players come into the league, and it's going to continue to improve. We're adding 2 new teams next year, and then probably another team year after that. Some more games. Yeah, more games, which I think will be good. It'll lengthen the season a little bit more.
To make things more interesting, WNBA and NBA players are becoming more antagonistic. Take the argument between Lisa Leslie and Draymond Green, for example. Before requesting larger checks, Draymond dared to suggest that WNBA players should improve their game. Cause the outcry, but it's possible that he was right.
The viral clip of Draymond Green basically lecturing one of the greatest players in NBA history, WNBA history, I think it's
Lisa Leslie recently caused a stir when she suggested that NBA players could take over and increase WNBA salaries by perhaps foregoing a night out at the casino.
Ourselves to the NBA, but I do feel like the pay gap would be something that, we could just take a donation around the NBA, maybe one night y'all don't go to the casino.
Now, that might have sounded like a joke to her, but Draymond Green didn't like it. He clapped back with all of his might, saying that no one in the nation supports the WNBA more than NBA players, and to suggest otherwise is just ungrateful. His fervent rebuttal demonstrated how strained the two leads' relationship has become.
On this show, because it pisses me off. It pisses me off because I don't think there's anyone in America that supports the WNBA more than NBA players.
100%.
The NBA players support the WNBA like
the most.
More than we probably support the NBA.
However, as this back-and-forth drama unfolds, an unexpected figure emerges as the league's saving grace. Kay Clark. The WNBA has seen a massive surge in fan attention, with 2.3 million fans crammed into arenas, a 48% increase from the previous season. Curiously, though, some veteran players are acting like Caitlyn is the villain, and instead of uniting behind her and bringing the league into the spotlight, Patrick Bet-David didn't hold back, warning WNBA players that they should be lighting candles for Clark's health because without her, their league might not even exist. This should be the moment when the entire WNBA rallies and celebrates what's working, but instead you have resentful veterans who are jealous of the attention Clark is receiving while still demanding bigger paychecks from a league that can hardly afford a parking ticket. Until she can reliably make a layup in traffic, Angel might want to wait to request raises.
And what they need, and by the way, maybe they should play hard, but not flagrant foul, Caitlin Clark, can be, the face of the league. They may not like it's the face of the league. There may be professional jealousies among players, but maybe at face of the league can help things go and get merch, people in seats, and a better TV contract. They're getting a TV contract improvement for the 26th season next year.
Patrick delivered a hilarious yet sobering reality check to turn the heat up. Patrick, who never backs down from a mic drop, asked ChatGPT a savage question. Do WNBA players get paid even if they sit out? The answer was obviously yes. And why is that? Because the NBA keeps bailing them out like a parent who can't stop funding their kid's garage band. The WNBA lost $40 million last year, and you guessed it, an additional $40 million the year before that. Therefore, technically, they're not continuing their losses progress.
Watch this here. To address the financial situation, I ask, the WNBA is, Rob, if you go up and ask the other question as well, ask, is it true that the WNBA makes money when they don't play? Is it true that the WNBA makes money when they don't play? Ask that question.
What does that mean?
Yes. In a way, the WNBA has historically lost money and receives financial support from the NBA, which means that the WNBA games are not played. The league can actually save money by avoiding operating costs. Did you guys understand what happened?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So WNBA makes money so if they go on a strike, the NBA is like awesome.
And let's be honest, the NBA might not be upset if WNBA players carry out the strike that Angel Reese threatened. In fact, they might throw a party, cut payroll to save money, handle less PR drama, and take a break from the yearly financial hemorrhage. For more than 20 years, the NBA has been carrying the WNBA around like a toddler in a backpack. When that backpack begins to feel particularly heavy, Caitlin Clark, with the energy of 1,000 Red Bulls and the skill set of a generational talent, walks in. This is where things get even messier. The WNBA already receives financial support from NBA players, and with Caitlin Clark garnering unprecedented attention, things should be easy, but they're not.
That came up, which is their argument, which you have to kind of defend the argument that they're making. WNBA's attendance had a record-breaking high in 20 years, with a total of 2.3 million fans attending games.
There is an increase in attendance. Even though those crowded arenas appear fantastic on Instagram, beneath all of that glitter is a financial dumpster fire that has been going on since 1997. The league continues to function as though it is just one breakaway dunk away from becoming mainstream despite 2.5 decades of losses.
Viewership is higher, and they're asking for the money. And if the contract on the back end, the revenue, NBA gets 50+% to players, they do 9.3. There's an argument for it to be played. But you're right, if Caitlin Clark gets injured, it's...
Tom from Valuetainment presented the harsh reality that nobody wanted to publicly acknowledge. The NBA views the WNBA as a write-off. It's not a business. Rather, it's a publicity gimmick that allows the league to claim that it supports women's sports while still bearing the financial burden. There is no pie, just crumbs, and the NBA is already distributing those thin, but there is a bright side to Angel Reese's constant demands for a larger piece of it.
Increase was from 2024 to 2023 in attendance in a year, 48%. That's massive for them. So that's the argument they're making. That's the Caitlin Clark effect.
Phenomenon, yeah.
Then, and when it comes down to merch from 23 to 24, they're up 601%. Then when it comes down to being broadcasted on ESPN, they average 1.2 million viewers per game, 170% increase.
TV ratings are skyrocketing, ESPN viewership has increased by 170%, and merchandise sales have increased by 61%. When Caitlin Clark steps onto the hardwood, people cheer and stay until the final buzzer. You would think the league would defend her like she's made of gold, but instead, people like A'ja Wilson try to minimize her impact and cast doubt on her. That's not just growth, that's explosion. Tom explained it simply: make the league profitable, then talk money. That's how MLB players did it. You don't demand a raise while your team is losing money. That's not how business operates. In addition, if the strike that the Angels are discussing actually occurs, owners may feel relieved because there will be less money going out and less drama. It would be like paying to keep the lights on in an empty house.
This issue, and no one's going to like what I say, but there are hard-working women in the WNBA that are the stateswomen for their team. They're the lead player for their team, the face of the team, and they're out there doing it. But guess what? You know what the reality is? Until the team makes a profit. And by the way, everything you talked about last year is tremendous progress, and it puts them closer to making a profit. Because as soon as they're profitable, they can go on strike, and they can go from 9% of the revenue to 12% of the revenue to 15% of the revenue to 20% of the revenue. But if there's no revenue...
Angel Reese may believe she is the main character, but this isn't TikTok. This is professional basketball, and adults are watching. So here's the thing. Clark is the reason casual fans are even discussing the WNBA. The seats are packed, the cameras are rolling, and for once, people are paying attention. While Caitlin Clark is out there setting records, advancing the game, and giving the WNBA a chance at a legitimate future, Angel Reese can continue to rant about how she deserves more money, but until she can provide statistics both on and off the court, it's just noise. Start by honoring the reason you are receiving compensation at all. Spoiler alert, it's not the $1 Million Podcast or the rebounding machine. Rather, it's the modest laser-focused the phenomenon of red fever in Indiana.
So the minute they are a profitable league, the players should do what baseball players and everybody else have done, is saying, sorry owners, you're making an awful lot of profit there. I think you should move us from 33 to 40% of total revenue. And that's the way it's worked in the leagues. But step one, there's got to be profit.
Let's take everything home. The financial reality of the NBA is more than just difficult. For years, the NBA has contributed between $10 and $12 million a year to keep the league afloat. That isn't charity, it's life support at this point. If you think that the NBA would be alarmed by Angel Reese and company's walkout over salaries, try again. They would probably pop champagne knowing that they just saved millions in subsidies, But this is where things could go wrong. With the help of astute brand deals and increased media attention rather than ongoing bailouts, Commissioner Kathy Engelbert is working to ensure that the WNBA can one day stand alone. You know who's holding the key to that. The future is obvious because Caitlin Clark is the one generating more interest from fans and ticket sales than ever before. If the WNBA doesn't change quickly, it may not get another chance, and it's obvious that Angel Reese isn't helping. Do you agree? If so, please let us know in the comments, subscribe, and turn on all notifications so you don't miss anything. Lean into what's working, embrace the stars fans are lining up to see, and build a league that doesn't need saving. We'll see you in the next one. Click the video on the screen.